watching. Always appreciate you. All right, so prophetic perspective. So the man in the red hat, 39 days to destruction of prophecy headline. So this is quite interesting that I got in the email. I want to see what in the heck is the red hat prophecy. So let's see here. The Hopi prophecy, a man in the red hat, by Happy Parrot with introduction from Jack Hart. Okay, so let's see what he's talking about here. Let's go down. It says, every summer in my formative years, the Hopi would hold their biggest powwow in the Tanner Park right across the canal from Western Concourse. There is in Popi played, not Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, or Utah, where they were from. They would perform their holiest of rituals, the snake dance. Sultry summer evenings were serenaded with their rhythmic drumming, and perhaps for the only time in my life, I was at peace with myself. Interesting. The year before I graduated St. Martin's, okay, he's a Catholic, basically the scene of the crime for the Anneville horror. I was 13 years old. Interesting. It was the year this prophecy was made, the year the tribal elders visited my 8th grade class in full dress regalia. They tried to explain what they were doing there. At the time, I really didn't understand what 3 Indian shamans were doing in our Catholic school class in the company of Father White, the priest in the Amity Valley horror. But I do now, and I got a peaceful ease feeling that you wouldn't or won't let me, they won't let me down. So it's always interesting to me. The Catholic Church is involved in every religion on the planet, period. Any belief system, period. They're just there. They're just there.
I was wondering about who are those people that's going to purify this land? How are they going to do it? So they explained to me, we have a gourd rattle that we still use in our sermon. And that gourd rattle represents the world. On one side, this figure is on the drawing. And another one is on this side. That'll be a gourd rattle. We still use them. But one old man told me, take a look. Whoever has this symbol in this world, going to shake it up 2 times. And it just came to me quickly. And I wondered, what nation ever someone something similar to this one? Because they will be very intelligent people. They're going to produce many inventions of all types. They're going to be so powerful that they're going to use that to shake us up real hard. And they're going to almost destroy themselves.
So earlier you heard about the guy saying about CERN and talking about when CERN actually succeeded in the particles being recognized. So the CERN symbol came to my mind when the Hopi native was speaking, and I thought, yes, that sounds like what they do at Davos. That's World Economic Forum, how they all come together and they think about stuff, some good stuff, some bad stuff, you know, they intermingle with it all. But also at the end of that part of that video, what came to my mind was America being 250 years old next year, 2025. And you know, 2025 is actually 25, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to have 25 in the front of 250, then you got 2025 at the end of you got 25 in the 2025, and you got 25 in the 250. That's what I'm trying to say. So it says here a milestone in the making. So the celebrating of America, the reset, is next year. So is this navigating towards a either a reset of prosperity, a reset? Of course, there will always be a time of struggle, but still prosperity when it comes to the spirit, in teamwork, in hope, in encouragement, in enduring, in repentance, in admittance. You know what I'm saying? We shall see, because that's what it seems like to me that's going on. We have our journey to 250 years on July 4th, 2026. Our nation will commemorate and celebrate the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declarations of Independence. So I guess I was thinking it was 2025, but it's in 2026. So I don't know why Trump is talking about 2025. Maybe he's going to do a whole year thing. I don't know. We shall see. You know, a lot of people don't even want to make it to that point. I mean, teach his own. The journey towards this historic milestone is an opportunity to pause and reflect on our nation's past, honor the contributions of all Americans, and look ahead towards the future we want to create for the next generation and beyond. And that's the thing. You know, yes, you know, when Kamala was saying about forgetting the old and moving forward into the future, she wasn't talking about in this regard, like reflecting back on our past and taking the opportunity to figure some things out, so pause and reflect on it. So you know what, we've come a mighty long way. She wasn't talking about like that. She was saying, we saw what happened, but she really hasn't been here long. So when you have people like, I hate to bring these people into this video, but Roland Martin, Joy Reid, Sonny Holston, every now and then even Whoopi Goldberg. We have these people who, for some reason, have a disdain towards America. Of course, I know that Whoopi says she's a Jew and Sonny says she's a Jew. So they're mixed breeds, and I don't know if they're bitter about because they got the best of both worlds. I don't know. But this 250-year thing reminded me of, why is this being brought forth now? Why is this being talked about now? You know, we know we're in a matrix, we're in a game, because that's the reason why I brought in the CERN. CERN's trying to figure out, how did the game get created? How did the game create? They're not really trying to create, they're not trying to really figure out, they call it the God particle, but they're really not trying to figure out anything about, quote unquote, a God, other than maybe they're trying to figure out how these Elohims created this game, how they're using us to keep this game going, how can they collapse the game to reset the game, maybe in a way that can get them out the game. But you have to go within to go without, and a lot of times people don't realize that the game is actually inside of you already. They're just using elements on the outside to keep it going. You don't have to keep it going within yourself. So I'm gonna go back to the brother talking about what he was told, and this just what came to my mind, the symbolism that came to my mind when they were talking about, when he kept talking about the image, the people that's going to be sitting around thinking about things. They think a lot, to the point where I think that they think a little bit too much. They think a little bit too much. I do understand that they don't like the idea of being in a game. They know about the loop in the game. They know about the infinity in the game. A lot of people don't know about the infinity in the game. Let's look at this real quick. This came. Look at this. LHC creates matter from light. So look at the guy in the red hat. Okay. So, like I said, later on in the video, you're going to hear me say about, there's not one person that's going to help repent and redeem this game. It's going to have to be all of us saying, looking within, saying, you know, I should not have allowed myself to be a puppet. I should not have allowed myself to be a sheep, a slave. I should not allow myself to look up to anybody, because we're all one. And we're told all the time we're all one, yet like children, we don't want to accept that we're all one. So whoever you're serving, you're one with that person. That means that you are that person is you. And still people really don't get it. They still want to bow. They still want to, when the trumpets blow and when the horns blow and the cymbals are hit, they want to bow. But let's look at this right here. It says, scientists on an experiment at the Large Hadron Collider sees massive W particles emerging from collisions with electromagnetic fields. Now, of course, we're in a electromagnetic field ourselves. Our whole aura, the whole way you're made, and that's why it's very important not to be marked with a frequency of 666, because once you allow them to inject you with a marker, then you're in trouble, because then they'll be able to find you and pull you up and out. And to be pulled up and out doesn't mean it's something beautiful. It's actually something very dangerous. It's something very deafening. Okay, but we see here this guy, Sandbox Studio, Chicago Art. He has a guy with a red hat on. You know, he's a potter. He's a clay maker, right? Um, E equals MC squared. So, you know, he's talking about the guy with the red hat. And I'm saying, this is what came to my mind. This is what came to my mind. The Atlas experiment, the whole holding up the matrix, holding up the simulation. It's not, look, the universe is inside of the simulation. The universe is inside of the matrix. Okay? The universe is inside of you. And so I don't know what to tell people. You know, I've spent time going without trying to figure out what the hell we're in. However, here goes the red hat again. You know, this is not something I researched. This is something that I'm literally live with you, showing you what I find. And when something comes to my mind and I think, oh, yeah, that does remind me of that, that's when, lo and behold, more proof comes in the pudding. So, I mean, from every nation, people are immersing themselves into figuring out what is this all about. Now, this nanotechnology, this gene therapy that they gave that shut the world down, shut all businesses down. Everybody had to get this gene therapy. It was not what they called it. It wasn't. It was, yes, moved in warp speed through Trump and then Biden. However, they're both Jesuits, and their leaders were red caps, and these people were red caps. And is there going to be any remorse for this nano being injected in people? Most likely not. Look, we're seeing right here that it's the ACS Nano Journal covering feature the work described here. The image depicts operational details of the AP-XPS method the group used to study the catalyst. Now, remember, I'm always talking about catastrophe. I'm always talking about catalyticism. And here it is again, right in my face. Magnesium oxide. So, see, it says here the catalyst consists of magnesium oxide nanoparticles. And you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. So the injection that changed the world, and a lot of people are not hearing it longer because of it, was nanoparticles. It was graphene oxide. Uh, so I think a lot of people are being nanostructured with magnesium oxide to be able to be found, to be able to be ejected from the game, removed from the game. Um, you know, I mean, how beautiful it is to just go. What I do is I go within and I allow myself to know that I'm going to find the information that I need. And I think this is what this Hopi guy is actually talking about. Literally, when he talks about people being dropped out the sky, pulled, falling from the sky, going up and then going back. You know, I think going up and then go back down. This is also the reasoning for what's going on in South Carolina, North Carolina, part of Tennessee, part of Georgia, and a part of Florida and Nevada. This needing this land for materials, you know, to create more catastrophic inventions. So, you know, when you hear someone trying to understand what was given to them through ancestors or dimensional beings or people that's in the game but you can't see them because they're in another dimension of the game. When people give information, they don't know what the end shall be because there's no such thing as an end. Only thing they can tell you is what they saw or what they can sort of see in whatever dimension that they're looking in, because there are many parallel understandings, because there are many of us. So in each one of our realities, we have a different conclusion to what our game shall be. Now, that's the purpose of television. That's the purpose of the media, education, religion, and government. It is to govern your state of seeing, your visual. That's the point of the Pope having that thing that's like the left eye, the right eye, and then you got the pyramid. They're trying to collapse your visual, your eye gate, into seeing what they want you to see on this landscape. And they'll be able to do that more with the nanotechnology, you know. Um, And a lot of people don't even survive through the nano injections. They just don't. It's just such a shocker to them. They can't make it, um, especially if they're obese, especially if they already have conditions. But this is actually what's going on. They're concerned about how does this dome four corner world work? Because the native kept saying four corners, and he really means four corners. The Earth looks like a globe, but it's not. And when people say, "Oh, you said the Earth isn't a globe," and they want to hee hee ha ha laugh at you, he was talking about how people were mocking them as well because how they see the world or the game isn't the way others see it. So it doesn't matter if someone laughs at you. You have to sit there and say, of course they have lack of knowledge. But let's look at the whole point of this is the work is featured on the cover on of the October 15th, 2024 edition. This imagery just came out what less than 2 months ago. We're in November now, so maybe 2 months to the most, half maybe. I mean, think about it. The land being flushed through weather warfare over there in the Carolinas. They're needing more land to maybe connect to what's going on in Chicago. That's collider that's there. You never know exactly what all they need for the minerals. We think it's for cell phones. We know that they know how to do. I was trying to pull on the screen the EMP blast, but there are more fancier technology that's out here that we don't know about. That's been given to them from the dimensional people that's in the game. These people who they prefer to play the game behind the scenes because they understand they're in a game. So they don't worry about having an avatar or a body because the body slows them down and prevents them from being able to have the strength they need to go from parallel dimension to parallel dimension. But this is what I thought when this is just what I thought. And I don't know why they're talking about celebrating next year, but we shall see why are they saying this anyway. But I mean, it's just like I guess a wedding.
But later out of a new generation could rise. This time they will know what to do in the right manner, for right purpose. Then around it, the sun symbol. Those people are very intelligent people that have that symbol. They have produced many things, invented many things. And they become powerful. And they also shake us up second time, with the help of another. These two have shook us up 2 times real hard, warning us. And they almost destroy themselves. But out of it, the new generation is coming, stronger, much better equipment, everything, powerful things going to be developed by these 2 people. Then the third one that will finally bring about purification of this land in this continent would be a man with red cap, red hat, or red cloak. Now we do not know who that nation is or what people, but they say those people will have a large population and they will also have much scientific inventions of all types, very powerful nation going to be. So once you start moving, these others will join them with all their power and might. The 3 of them are going to come here quickly together and nothing can stop them. This time they're going to come right here. They say even they're going to come here so fast they come here for breakfast. Now this is nice clear day today, calm, everything, nice. Tomorrow morning maybe we get up at breakfast time, then the whole sky will be dark. Old man said, I don't know what will cause the darkening of the sky. Then he said the people will be raining from the sky. And in one day they're going to get control of this whole continent. And they're going to cut us up into 4 sections. And they're going to look for a leader that still remains, a native leader, still remaining to the spiritual path. And to him they're going to gather people here to him. And they will say, now these people, I gave them the religion and the duty to produce things, to invent things, and to become powerful people. When they came here, what have they been doing to you? Now, suppose he was the last chief still remaining in this area. They will ask him, and they will say, well, those people have destroyed my people. They've taken care of and taken everything from my people, land, rivers, and hunting rights, and everything that I used. They just took it away from me against my opposition. Then those that have done that, what we call purification, would be the real wicked people. People who have taken advantage of them in that manner. These figures had no hands on them. That would be their supreme punishment. Because right in daylight, right in public, they're going to weed out those bad people and they're going to chop their heads off, they said. And that is what they said will happen. That's first punishment. Then they say, what about these people here? And they will look at them and said, well, at least they make an attempt to help us. They did try to do something to help us, protect us. And they will pull out all those people. They will know you can't get away. They said they'll have some means of catching you. And they will bring those people, there'll be a lot of those people. Then they will say, look, you have disturbed this land, like these people. You have polluted their rivers and land and everything. Now you go and clean it up. And whoever survives out of that will be able to stay with the leader here. Then they would say, what about these people? These people have really suffered, been persecuted and laughed at, they've been punished, and they've been beat up also because they really stood by me. And they will pull out those people, and they will be brought to him, and they will be respected. That is what they said will happen at this period by the people that has this symbol and the man with red cap and red coat. They will come from east direction, from where the sun rises, and they will come here quickly, and they will have something to paralyze all man-made machine where everything comes to a standstill. All power will go out, all man-made machine will come to a standstill, and we will be helpless when they just come and take it over. And this is what they will happen to by those people that are coming from the east direction. Now, if those people are commissioned by the Great Spirit to do that for the Great Spirit, if we can't clean it ourselves here, and if they fail, then the Great Spirit said there are another people coming from west direction. They'll be coming here for a long time. They're just taking this time slowly. They're coming and building up more power, more people, more invention, and all that, and they just kept coming. If these people doesn't come here to purify this for the Great Spirit, then this one will come. And they said, when that happens, don't get them on the housetop and watch, because those people are coming from the west direction. There'll be millions of people coming up on the west coast, like ants crawling up on the land. And they will have no mercy for anyone. They'll be very cruel and severe. They're not going to ask questions. They're just going to whip everything as they come. They're going to look for someone that will hold on to this spiritual path here. They're going to do that. This is what they said is going to happen. But there's two purifiers on both sides are coming to this continent here where we started from. And we came back, we just about to destroy ourselves, mess it up. We can't straighten ourselves up. Then these people will have to do it. This is what they said will happen here. So whoever comes out, then we will meet the Great Spirit. But if not, if no one listens, then these elders, religious men, will go down into the cave, go through a ceremony, then they go over a prayer to four corners of this earth, to the above and to the below, and say, all right, none of these, my children, my people have listened to me or helped me. Now you take over. That's when the cloud will rise like this. Lightning will strike 2 or 3 times all over this land. Like the old people said, if you have light power line in your house now, that power can run in and destroy everything in it. And everything is going to happen when that lightning strikes. And so that's why some of these traditional people don't want power line into their village yet. They don't want to put it in their home. And then they also don't want running water inside of the house, because that's going to be so polluted one of these days. And that's going to be affected in some way when white man or whoever has the power, like the goat full of ashes, which you now interpret to be hydrogen bomb or atom bomb or whatever bomb they have now invented so powerful, that once that hit someplace, it's going to pollute everything. So these are the things that are explained clearly, and I can't really go into all that detail, but it brings up to date what we're facing today. I've seen many things happening along this line now that it's being fulfilled, so they told us, go as far as you can to explain some of these to as many people, because there is still a faith by our elders that someday our white brother somewhere or somebody's going to realize or hear it and understand it, and they're going to search and they're going to find out this is true. They're going to start going around to try and correct this before the purifiers come.
So let's look at another option of the red hat. Now, of course, you know, Trump is a Jesuit, Biden's a Jesuit, Kamala's a Jesuit, Vance is a Jesuit, Vivek Ramaswamy is a Jesuit. Look, there are even princes and kings who are Jesuits. So this is another option. Now, it's just difficult to see anybody that's loyal to the Jesuit oath being caring. But anyway, does the Pope have a funny act? Yes. And not only he. So it says right here, the Pope and his bishops of the Catholic Church were a mite at Mass. That's the Dagon hat, fish hat. And the Pope has a red capella romal for everywhere. It is also known as a Saturno. Cardinal and other clerics were black. So let's go to the other red hat, and that would be in winter the Pope may choose to wear the warm woolen hat with white trim of ermine, the Camarero. Then it says right here, we talk about a triple crown that's not red. Then it got a little daily indoor outdoor Vucheda, which isn't not red. So anyway, all you need to know about Catholic hats, it goes again and says here that cardinals and others wear the biretta, and I see one's red over here, and then it says cardinals wore a red galero until 1965. The number of these tassels and the color of the hat indicates the person's position. A Chinese bishop would avoid the traditional green color, since wearing a green hat in China suggests you are a cock-old. Purple, blue, or black worn instead. The color of the vechita shows the cardinal. The cardinal wears red, the bishops wears purple, the priests were black, the Franciscans were brown. Farewell, you are. So there's another red hat here at the corner, and it's the kolpak. It was formerly used by the Greek Catholics. So the red hat also could stand for the Pope, the Catholics, the Jesuits. Now, why would Jesuits have to purify the land or correct themselves? It's because they're the ones that's polluting the land with the Zionists. The Jesuits and the Zionists literally are working together. You have the Zionists who are screaming everything's anti-Semitic. They run everything in Hollywood. And if they run everything in Hollywood, then that's a great indicator that they're over the sex trafficking. Kanye West said that he had a list of producers and directors who were running Hollywood. And right now Hollywood is being shaken up. And I think Hollywood is being shaken so the land can be purified. However, the people themselves will have to be the ones that continue to press forward in revealing. There are a lot of people out here who are finally giving their testimony about what happened to them. And then there are people who have people coming to their houses trying to encourage them not to talk. However, I wouldn't let that divert anyone from speaking the truth. So salvation doesn't come in a package of one man. salvation in this game comes in a package of us understanding we are one. So if you're looking for one person to be the person that causes the game to go in a more pleasant, efficient, purified way, it's going to take all of us, because all of us are one. Some of us are high frequency, some of us are low frequency. Some of us are active players in this game called life, and some of us are just sheeps and dummies. And you have to stop being a sheep. You have to actually start being a player that has intention on purifying that which is, uh, they like to say, unfiltered, something that can't be filtered. So I'm looking at the Catholic hats, and if you know anything about the Jesuit oath, the Jesuit oath is a bloody oath, and anybody that's watched me long enough know who are the Jesuits. So I'm going to show you a viewing of people who are in leadership in America. You got, of course, Joe Biden, who's a Catholic, and he may have been one of the white men that the Popi was talking about. Should have come to help, should have came to the land to help, because Joe Biden's name in gematria encoded language. Actually, Joe Biden actually supposed to have been a wonderful soul, not an imposter, but he's turned to be an imposter. Now, Trump's always called an imposter, but he's turning out to be a little bit better than what everybody suspect. Yes, he has issues, and Obama's an imposter as well, Bush. However, Trump's in Trump's way of dealing with things is a little bit more relatable to the regular person, even though he's still a Jesuit. So you have to keep that in mind. I would never forget. I wouldn't ever forget that. So let me show you the group that I'm talking about, and then this video will be done, and that'll be all for the day. I could talk about Mohammed bin Salman, because these people are part of those people who would love to purify America, but not in the right way. Okay, because they sit on 666, which is a frequency of debauchery. This stuff that happened here in North Carolina, South Carolina, was part of not purifying the land, just demolishing the land in order to get BlackRock, who are the Zionists, who are the Drury, who are the synagogue of Satan, who say that they are Jews, but they're not. They say they're Ebus, but they're Jews. They're not a Yasharel. They're not true Israelite. And I think sometimes when you have visions and dreams, it doesn't all the time turn out to be what you suspect. So we still have to be real careful not to put our weight on anybody to do anything, but we have to put ourselves together. Polluting the land consists of this as well, whether people want to believe it or not. And yes, Vance right here has on a red hat, but polluting the land also can be polluting the spirit of the land. And a lot of people have to understand that that's the goal of all the players who don't want America to be a land that's still lived on. They want to destroy the land. Let me show y'all a group. And of course, they want to use Bitcoin, educate you in Bitcoin, ETFs, digital money, so that you won't have any power. When the power goes out, you won't have any money. Okay? So please understand that BlackRock, Grayscale, all these people want to be able to master everything and everybody. Power and money, power and water, power and vehicles, power and education. They'll be able to shut it all down. So the planet, the United States, could go, the game could go in a way that's unredeemable. However, no one person can make it happen. No one Elohim can make it happen. So if you believe in a God, that God can by him or herself make anything happen. You have to team up with these personalities in the game and get on board with what you believe or what they believe can happen. The other day I want to talk about this picture here. Now, Lucifer, the bright, bring to the light. They talk about Lucifer, the bright morning star, or Lucifer, the light bearer that the Masons believe in. Well, I was looking at Lucifer in Latin, so Lucifer in English simply just means translated, bring to the light, right? So you look at Google Play symbol. It's literally talking about the left and right brain, the left eye, the right eye, and it's showing you that they're trying to control what you see. So whatever's brought to the light in your eyesight, it gets twisted and turned into the, let's say, the left eye. Information from the left eye goes to the right side of the brain. Information from the right eye goes to the left side of the brain, the primary vision of the brain. So that's why it's very important to understand that television tells a lot to your vision. So you have to be really careful about what you see on television. Now, a lot of times the Pope does come on television. A lot of prominent leaders come on television. You must always decode or decipher or use some discernment in what they say and do, especially with colors, with how they do their hand symbols and all that. So even though this thing looks like a goat, it looks like a pyramid with an X on it, but it also looks like that X that came across America. This is talking about the mind of humanity. What kind of mind do we want? Do we want a primitive mind, a beast mind, or do we want a mind that can see through the veil? And then let me just go to the group, and then I'll be done. I have someone standing beside me going to ask me some questions. So, and look at this guy here. See this guy here? I think he's a bishop. He may be a cardinal, but I think he's a bishop. Let me get some of these pictures out. My computer is wanting to be a crybaby right now. Let's see if it'll let me. So let me answer this person's question real quick. So it's just saying make predictions on what you do tomorrow. So this is this right here. That's 8 a.m. So that's when you do certain things, and then this is this. And this is. There are certain things you do during these times. You have to figure it out yourself. All right. So we see this guy right here. We see him in a red cap, right? We understand that, of course, because Trump is a Jesuit, because he's not of the Catholic faith, he's just a Jesuit. Okay, it's just like the lodge. Pick a God, pick a Elohim, any Elohim, pick a group, any group, pick a stance, any stance. So, because Trump is a Jesuit, and Jesuits are of a lot of faith, they're a universal belief system, they're a universal religion. Okay, so because the Catholic Church is a universal religion, look at this guy. It's this Schooner beside him. See what I'm saying? Anyway. So you have this guy in the red cap. These people, the Jesuits, came to this land and literally brought so much destruction to the indigenous of the land. Now, I'm not from Africa, even though they say we're African American. I'm an indigenous of this land. And we look at people when they say, oh, we're African American. And a lot of us looking like, no, we're not. We're indigenous, comfort skinned Americans. We're indigenous. We the Choctaw, Chickasaw. We're not what people say we are, but we just look up and smile like, okay, interesting. Just because your hair can go into a fro doesn't mean you're from Africa. A lot of Africans don't even have froey hair. But anyway, so the red cap guy right here. See the red cap guy? These people came to bring destruction. So would it be funny that they have to now heal the land? Who knows? I know that the Aussie Nazis do not want to heal the land. I think Schindler is an Aussie Nazi. Trump's daughter's married to Aussie Nazi. So there's a lot of trickery in this. It's still going to be based off of us. It's going to be based off of us. And this is what all these logos are for. Elon Musk is a Luciferian, but he's also a Jesuit. Okay, and this is electric god, and then dog, and then Vivek Ramaswamy, he's a Hindu, not a Christian, and he's from the priestly class of Tamil Nadu, the Brahmin priestly class, the same as Kamala Devi Harris, whose middle name represents the goddess that they serve, that rides a beast. And then you have the CEO currently of Google, who is of the Brahmin priestly class, same as Kamala Harris, same as Vivek Ramaswamy. Am I saying that there is something going on and you don't know about it because they're keeping us busy looking at this fella who should have been put under the jail. You know, the focus is on the brown skinned man right now. However, melanated people gonna have to get it right too. You can't keep supporting people like this fella here. You can't keep doing it. You can't keep supporting people who have an oath of blood, of death. You know, we just can't keep doing it. We can't keep supporting people that believe in doublespeak. Okay, so that isn't the group of people I want y'all to see. I need y'all to see a group of Jesuits real quick, so that those people who love to take sides will understand. Stop taking sides, red and blue. Sit somewhere in the middle and question all things and stare down everybody. Okay, stare down everybody. So this is a Jesuit collage I made. Pick one. Pick them. Pick one. They're all ruled by the oath of death. And let me show you the oath real quick. I'm gonna put it side by side because I love showing this oath because you know no matter how they smile at you, they have to stand with this oath. If they don't, they'll get shot at. They'll get the what do they say? That when the same cannot be openly done openly, I will secretly use the poisonous cup like Diddy did, poisoning people, setting them up with the horse tranquilizing pink cocaine mixture, the strangling cord, the steel poniard, or the leaden bullet. They don't care what rank you are, what honor you are, what dignity, position you have, whether you're a prince, whether you're a king. They don't care what condition of life you may be in. So they take an oath of saying that they do now renounce and disown any allegiance to any hereditary king, prince, or state named Protestants. So you Protestants, you folks who ain't Catholics, you liberals, be careful. Be careful. Because they promise to declare and wage war, make and wage war when opportunity presents itself. Relentless war, secretly and openly against all heretics, Protestants and liberals, as I am directed. Each one of these people over here to the left says this, as I am directed to expedite them from the face of the earth. So the shaman was saying, or the Popi brother was saying that somebody's supposed to come, they'll mess it up. That sounds like the first, the second, maybe the third World War III. But right here it talks about even being willing to crush the heads of infants against walls in order to annihilate this inscrutable race. Now, who think people are just horrible, a horrible race of people? Well, I think that the Nazis be thinking that. They just think everybody's Goyams. And a lot of these people are married to Nazis. Alright.